Hey everybody, Mark Agnesi here in the back room of Norman's Rare Guitars. Welcome back to another pre-recorded, completely in non-consecutive order of any kind, episode of Guitar of the Day.
Woo!
Yes, I'm not sure which day of Jen's vacation this is, but Jen's still on vacation, so we're pre-filming some of this stuff.
Where am I at?
Where are you at on this particular day?
I'm at the Bahamas, probably.
She's hanging with Riri. Drinking one of those big coconut things or whatever.
I don't know. Something good.
Somewhere way better than I am right now. But whatever. So hey, yeah, we can't really talk about current events or anything because this is a couple weeks beforehand, but I've got a really cool guitar I think you guys are going to like. Something on the newer side, but you know, some of the early vintage reissue guitars that are starting to become very collectible. For Rick's, this one's pretty cool. I think you guys are going to like it. Check this out. So this is from 1988. This is a Rickenbacker 360-12 V64. Original Fireglo finish, double bound body, binding, shark tooth inlays on the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the George Harrison 12.
So cool. Against the case too, it's really cool.
I gotta tell you, they got the finishes so much better back then.
Mm-hmm.
The colors, I don't know what it is. I mean, I still like the new Rickenbacker guitars. They're making nice guitars, but the Fireglo, man, it gets really bleachy in the middle, and it's like all just whited out, bleached out color. It's not this like rich ambery color in the middle. That looks way more like the originals. And look, I mean, it's 30 years old. Look how it's starting to check on the binding. It's got some checking on the back here. I mean, it looks like a vintage 60s one of these. Why is that cool? Because these things hardly exist. Yeah, and it's a Beatle guitar. God, talk about that. Yeah, so George Harrison had one of these, and when I mean one of these, I'm talking about the double bound 360-12. First off, let's back up. Let's talk 360s, because a lot of you might be going, that looks like a 330 body to me. There's two different versions of the 360. There's what we call the 360 OS, or old style, which would refer to the pointy body shape with the binding. And then there's the 360 NS, or new style, which is going to be only bound on the back and have those much kind of curvier lines going around the top. You know, no binding on the top, kind of the curved arched top with the checkerboard binding on the back. That would be the NS, or new style. Those are the two different versions. The double bound ones obviously were made far less of and are far more valuable and far more collectible, and those are the ones that you really want to go after. However, the 12 strings in Fireglo, like the one George had, yeah, they made like 25 of those or something total ever. And one of them was George's, so there's only 24 other ones. Talk about rare, right?
Cool.
Talk about how many Beatle collectors there are out there. Have every single George guitar. They usually have a reissue one of those. Man, but for, like I said, just for sake of color, that looks so much more authentic to me than some of the newer ones do. Got the full width inlay. Now, the other thing we got to talk about, this is a V64 as far as I know. They also made another one called the C63, just to make shit really confusing. What's the difference? I don't know. I read some stuff on forums. Obviously, the C63 is supposed to be a little bit more like George's, so that would mean the inlays, you see how these have aged and kind of yellowed. The inlays on those were purposefully made a little more on the gray side to kind of look like George's. Also, the dots on the side on the C63s are red, where these are black. And then I think the big kicker that gives it away, of course, but you guys already knew this. The Made in USA on the truss rod cover under the Rickenbacker is only on the V64. The C63 didn't have the Made in USA because it was an exact replica of George's. Obviously, they didn't put Made in USA on them back then.
Obviously.
But other than that, man, it's kind of pretty much the same exact thing as far as I'm concerned. I think there's something else about bracing or blocks in the center, but I don't know. It's the freaking George guitar, man. You're splitting hairs. We got the toaster pickups, binding, got the Rico sound and standard outs there. Of course, we have still the vintage style tailpiece. You'll see some other guitars in the 80s and early 90s that Rickenbacker did that they'll call like a 360 WB. 360 WB, WB standing for with binding. Rad, right? They did do those, but they still kind of kept modern appointments, so they're kind of high gain pickups. They're going to have the R tailpiece. They're not proper vintage spec reissue ones like these ones were. So this one, like I said, is the V64.
That's cool.
For a new-ish guitar, I mean, it's 30 years old. It's newer than me, but it's not new. It's been around the block. It's got some cool wear on it. Let's go to the couch, plug it in, see what this thing sounds like. All right, we're out front. We have the 1988 Rickenbacker 36012 V64 original Fireglo finish. It's just got the mono outs on this one. Some of the 360s. I'm going through a 65 Deluxe reverb, reissue from Fender. All EQs at new, just a little bit of reverb. Let's start up on that neck toaster pickup. See what we got going here. Moving on in the middle position, we got a combination of both of those toaster pickups firing together. Let's see what we got there. Lastly, down to that bridge toaster pickup all by itself. Wide freaking open. Iconic there from 1988 and a Rickenbacker 36012 V64. One of the more authentic looking Fireglo finishes you'll see on the newer ones. Pair of toaster pickups, bound rosewood board, full width shark fin inlays. Original black case at that era. Man, that's a great sounding 12 right there. And the rare, you know, the original ones you're just not going to see. There's your guitar of the day. I don't know what day it is. Hope you're enjoying your vacation, Jen.
Thanks.
Follow me on Instagram at Mark Agnesi. Follow the store at Norman's Rare Guitars. And check this and the rest of these guitars out online at normansrareguitars.com. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow for another episode of Guitar of the Day. Peace.
Bye.